Okay, today I want to show you how to use the Google AdWords tool. So there are a variety of both paid and free keyword research tools that you can use. But if you're already using Google and Gmail anyway, this is a fantastic one to use, and it's pretty reliable and comes back with great information. It's a little bit challenging to find though sometimes. So I usually get to it by going directly to the AdWords page. So that's just adwords.google.com, and then you can click on the keyword planner. So you can go to start using keyword planner or sign in, or however it's going to verify that you sign in with your Google account. So if you're not using some kind of Google account or Gmail, then pause this right now and go set yourself up a free Google account. Okay, do not be scared by this first page that's going to come up. It's going to lead you directly into the Google AdWords. Okay, you do not have to use a Google ad campaign in order to use the Google keyword tool. So a lot of people probably get to this point and then get freaked out because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to set up a budget and do this. So you just kind of go through and play the game for a minute. I can't remember. I want to say, I can't remember if you can use the keyword tool without filling in some of this stuff, or if it's going to, it's been so long since I've come in here from an account that's not already set up. I don't know if this looks this way for everybody who comes in or just once you've started up. If you come in and it says start a campaign, because I've already started a campaign, I came straight to this. But if your main option is start a campaign, then just go ahead and click on that and just, start filling out a couple simple things just to get something there until it allows you to get to this keyword part, okay? The keyword part is super duper cool. So what you're going to do is it's going to show you how many, on average, how many hits come back on these things, and it shows you the number of searches for a keyword that meet your requirement, and this is monthly traffic on these on average per keyword if you're using these in your search engine optimization keyword strategy, in your keyword for your book, and all of this stuff. So obviously you can see what I'm looking for most, trying to get people out here, but you may not be looking for things about publishing and publishers and all this stuff. So let's say you're publishing a children's book, and the theme of the children's book is children who don't like to read, but you want them to read. So think about the things you might enter if you were searching for a children's book to help children read. So that one's right there. Children's book to help children love to read. Let's see just what happens. Okay, that's probably too specific, but let's see what happens when we click more like this. And it's going to help us search for potential keywords. Or maybe it went to more like this. Okay, so let's try and think about something else. Let's try to think about something more specific. Great books for 7-year-old boys. These are pretty specific keywords, so I don't know. Okay, there's 50 hits on that, so that's something. We're going there. Books for boys. Boom. Okay, now we're starting to get into the area where people look. Books for girls. Picture books for 5-year-old. Nope. Picture books. Okay, so you can start to see, and you just kind of mess around and play around until you see. And if you start looking up more like this, let's see if it'll work this time, or if it's still stuck on all of my other photo book. Okay, so it's digging down the wrong line here. How about if we go to books for girls, books for boys, more like this? What does it say? Kids books, children's books, children books. Okay, so if you're first starting out and you are writing a children's book, then you might just want to use children's books or kids books as some of your main cornerstone keywords to draw people to your page, and then they can determine if your children's book is the one that you're looking for. But as you get more into it, you can start digging down. Let's give another example to see if we can dig something else. What about if you're writing a book? Let's go to an adult nonfiction book. What if you're writing a book about how to learn meditation. So you can search meditation. Boom, you can search how to meditate. This one's a little bit easier for me because let's see, meditation tactics, techniques, maybe. Techniques is probably a word that they use more. The nice thing is that if you're the expert in this subject, you're going to know the appropriate keywords a little better than I am. So you can probably put in things that make more sense. Like on the children's book, the children's reading, like learn, I want to stick on that because I don't learn to love to read, because I feel like there's got to be, okay, so there's some that are in there, but I think there are probably other things, and maybe you know this better in your area of expertise, what those words are that you would use to search for the book that you're writing. Now on your website, you're going to be a little bit more, you're going to be broader on that. So again, best children's books. Oops. Best children's, that's weird. Best children's books. I think I already did that one already, but let's see. Teaching tools for, I don't know, this is something that, nope, okay. How about, the reason I put that one in, I'm thinking here a lot of people who write children's book, especially like our example was teaching a book that helps a child learn how to love to read that doesn't like to read, right? So your audience, if that's the book you're writing, is probably a lot of teachers, a lot of moms and dads, but a lot of teachers who are searching for tools to help them teach children who don't know how to read, so, or don't love to read. So maybe teaching children to read might be a good one. Yep, okay. Teaching children to love books. Okay, if it has a 0 keyword, nobody's searching for that. So as you see what I'm saying, you can kind of dig into that and start brainstorming like what it would be if you were to go to Google right now and type in let's see, I hate reading. There's surprisingly 3 in there. Okay, so you get the idea. I don't need to go on and on about this. You're going to look for books that are keywords and topics, maybe just reading. I mean, look at that. Okay, but that's we already did children's books. Then you could narrow it down into it. Books for preschool children. Early reader books. Okay, so you can see how you can start going in there. And as you are blogging to try and build the SEO up on your site, because this is the thing with search engine optimization. Like even if you have reading on there as your keyword, what you have to know about keywords, that there's a difference between keywords that are just big keywords and then keywords that are competitive and very like overused. So there's a lot of searches for reading, but there's also a lot of websites using reading on their posts and on their websites. So you want some keywords that are searched for, but maybe not quite as highly utilized. So maybe they're not so competitive. And this is the same when you're looking for keywords for your book. So use keywords that make sense, use them as part of your strategy, but try to find out as specific as you can get on good keywords. And it doesn't, just because it doesn't show up in this keyword tool doesn't mean that it's not a keyword that's out there. So this is based on ads, the ad search, right? So you might want to consider looking at some other tools as well. Another tool that I highly recommend that is not free is KDP Rocket. Especially, it's just a great tool. I have posts on KDP Rocket separately. I think it costs under $100, but it's fantastic for finding not only the keywords and categories that people are using that actually get hits on Amazon to sell their books. So it's more for book sales than it is for writing posts on your blog site, but it shows you so much analytics about the keywords and categories and all that stuff, like how competitive they are, all those types of things. So it's super useful. Okay, so exploring just a little bit deeper here, you can use the Google Trends thing, which will give you what's trending and what's happening. It'll give you a snapshot of what people are looking at right now, what are the biggest things people are looking at and for. But let's see what happens. We're sticking with the children's books. Let's see what happens when we put in children's books and what's happening. Okay, so there's a pretty steady search for children's books. It shows you which countries. This is awesome because um, it gives you some related topics, some related queries. You can go through them. So if you're looking for, some more ideas on things that you can write posts about or use as keywords or all those types of things, this is a great tool to help you see that. You can search by categories, you can do a web search, news search, all those types of things. But basically, you just put in explore and go, and this is at trends.google.com. Okay, the next quasi free tool is WordStream. It's one of many out there that has kind of a basic free, and then you have to upgrade to get more information. But if you see, I typed in children's books. This is wordstream.com. I typed in children's books and it comes back and tells you this is the nice kind of thing though with it. When you use a lot of these paid tools, if you type in a broad suggestion, it'll give you a whole list of the big ones. So stories for kids, books to read, sports book, all these things. But it does not show you on the free version the competition. So what for a beginner, as you're just getting started, what you need is enough of the right general keywords that can get traffic to your blog so you can start growing that Google juice so that you can start ranking a little bit higher when people come in and search for something specific, and then you can spend more time going through the SEO later. A keyword tool like this, in conjunction with the tool like Yoast, which is a free plugin that you can get on WordPress. And the cool thing about Yoast is that it will walk you through, it'll allow you to enter your keyword on your post, and then it'll give you a stoplight chart that shows whether you're red, yellow, or green. And if you're red, that means you have bad search engine optimization on that post, and it's not going to do well if people are searching for your topic. But it gives you a list of the good things and the bad things, and a list of what you can do to correct it. And as you start implementing these things, you might move up to orange and then hopefully to green. And there's a lot of things that go into good search engine optimization, which are beyond the keyword. It has to do with outbound links and inbound links and no follow links, and whether or not you have headers that have the keyword in it. Does your title have the keyword in it? Do you have the keyword? Is the density of the keyword enough? So if your keyword, if you've chosen, and you can choose whatever you want as the keyword, this is the awesome part. So if you've written a post that is specifically about how to get 7-year-old boys to learn to read, your keyword, your phrase could be learn to love to read. And you run the risk of, if nobody is searching it, let me see if this is an example that's going to play with us. Learn to love to read. Okay, so I mean not really, right? So you could SEO the mess out of a post so that it says green on SEO, but if nobody's searching for learn to love to read, and we don't know that that's the case, I like to look at a variety of different tools before determining what that is. Let's see what happens actually when we go to just straight up Google. Learn to love to read. I mean, so this is the other thing you can use. You can go to straight Google and just type in a phrase and see what populates. These are the things that people are frequently searching for. And look at that, how to help your child learn to love reading. I don't know that you would want to use that whole thing as a keyword phrase, but you could learn to love reading as a keyword. So anyway, through the Yoast, it would tell you, is learn to love reading in your post a certain number of times? Is your post long enough? Search engine optimization doesn't like super short posts. They want to see like at least 200 to 300 words. Do you have an image? All these different things that are calculated to give you a good score on whether or not it's going to perform well in terms of search engine optimization. So hopefully that helps you when it comes to finding topics both to write about and finding the keywords to use. And then use that Yoast plugin on WordPress, or other plugins may be available on other places. But you want to search for a good tool to help you improve your search engine optimization on your site, and then kind of follow what it tells you to do to improve your post. And it'll list it all out. So hopefully that gives you a fairly decent overview for search engine optimization for your website and for searching for key terms in general, keywords in general. And these can be good keywords for social media, for potentially for hashtags, for keywords for your book when it comes time to that, and definitely the things that you put on your website if your goal is to build a big, broad picture around the book that you're trying to sell. Please let me know if you have any questions.